As a promising youth with a warm and gentle nature, no one could foresee the struggles young Gary would have later in life. He never knew the joy of having children of his own. He never realized his dreams and goals. At the age of only 27, Gary's brief life ended with a fatal drug overdose. In his memory, Gary's parents, Vernon and Sarah Arnette, requested that in lieu of flowers, funds be donated to a cause that would help troubled youth in the future. This became seed money for what was then called the Arnette House Project. In less than 2 years, the Arnette House was born.
I just think adolescence is one of the most difficult periods of time of people's lives and the life cycles that people go through.
It's not like it used to be where kids would come home and mom would be there baking cookies and then dad would come home and at a fairly decent time and they had a lot of interaction with their parents. It's not that way anymore.
Kids are home a lot by themselves and don't get the supervision that they need a lot of times because parents have to work to make ends meet enough to keep the car and the house and so forth.
So many of our kids, they don't know what route to take. They don't know what are proper choices, or even they just given up hope that they will never ever accomplish anything.
I was constantly, being, told that I was worthless, that I wasn't like anything, that I was gonna amount to nothing. And
children have a lot of issues that they're faced with because of all this. I'm finding a lot of children that are very angry. That seems to be the biggest problem.
Well, just recently I've been getting a lot of cases of kids that are suicidal. And this, they're telling friends at school they're going to kill themselves and so forth.
My family doesn't really want me. My dad died when I was 8 years old, and my mom left me when I was 13 on Christmas Day with some guy that she met in the bar. And ever since then I've been bounced from home to home to home to home.
It's just really tough out there for families, and it's good for them to have a support like the Arnette House, to be able to get the help and the counseling and to help strengthen them as a family and help them to grow as individuals.
I kind of think of it as a compass. They come to us at a certain point in their life, and that's sort of the center point to the compass. And what we do is we kind of assess where they're at and then try to work with them. It's short term, but we try to work with them and help them to change the direction that they're heading in by 1 or 2 degrees, so that over time the outcome of where they end up is quite different than where they would have ended up if they hadn't come to us for that intervention.
A lot of times children tend to keep things in. They feel that they can't talk to their parents because they don't trust them. It's not a safe place to go. Sometimes they feel that they can't go to adults at school. Maybe they feel embarrassed about whatever's troubling them, and I like to provide them with a safe place to go and be able to share whatever's going on in their heart.
One young girl several years ago, when she was 11 years old, came to us, and she had 8 sexually transmitted diseases and cervical cancer. And so one of the things we did in a group session was talk about dreams and goals and visions and what would she like in life most of all. And one thing she stated was that just one more chance. If she could redo her life, she could have one more chance to go back and correct it. And at 11 years old and having facing all of that was pretty extreme.